everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs. Hope everybody's doing well. I wanted to just pop on here. I was finishing up a couple of journals, and I was making these little paper clips, and I didn't know, if I had ever shown anybody how I did this or not. I've got a lot of videos out there, and I went look through, and I didn't see anything. It's not a new thing. A lot of people do them, but I just thought I'd show you, because I'm doing these retro journals, how I make these paper clips, and I thought you might be interested, and we'll just do a little craft along. I have these digitals, and it's from Lisa's Altered Art on Etsy, and this is what I printed from, and they're super, super cute. I love them, and I am using some, what is it called here? The Tim Holtz Frosted Crystal with this. So it's a little different than how I've done it before, but I just thought I'd pop on here and show you. These are just the perfect size. I don't know. Let me look and see. What size are they exactly? I'm saying about 3.5 inches, maybe a little bit. Yeah, over 3.5. Maybe 3 3/4, 3.5. So they're the perfect size to make into paper clips. And the reason I like them is, and I like doing the paper clips, is when I do a journal, sometimes I don't know, some people don't like other images, like permanently into their journal. So I'm very cognizant of that. So I tend to paper clip the image in, or I, make paper clips in this situation. And I just thought I would show you how I do that with these, just in case you have not seen how to do that, or maybe you just want to craft along. Anyway, this is how it's going to turn out. So all I did is fussy cut some of these out, which I don't know if you guys are into fussy cutting. You basically have to, first of all, have good scissors. I have the Tim Holtz smaller, has glue all over them, but they're still very good scissors. The small ones, and I also have, this is a good one too, this Cuttle, what's it called? Cutter Bee. These are good scissors too to use. And because it's hard to do this with larger scissors. So anyway, you basically are just going to take cut out a piece and then go through, and this is kind of hard to see your hat because it's white, but you move the paper, not necessarily the scissors, because that gets you right close in. And if you have to do some trimming later, you can. It's really not hard to cut these out at all. And I don't go in and over, try and get, like this part right here, I go in later and do that. Hope you can see that. And I'm not the world's greatest fussy cutter, but I can do it. I have a scan and cut, and I do that a lot. But sometimes on stuff like this, I really don't mind at all. So I'm going to go in there, and I'm turning the paper. Okay. And we're going to go back around. She's got a little chubby snow outfit on. She looks a little chubby there. They're really cute images. They're just little kids in all their little snow outfits. And she has them colorized in, green and red, and they're just super cute. I think they're just adorable. I like to use them whenever I'm doing the retro look, 1950s, 60s, because that's kind of the era that they're in. Now see this part right here, that's when I go in later and I can just kind of get to it better. Try not to cut her thumb off. And you can always leave that little white part too. I do on a lot of pieces that are very hard to get to, and they turn out fine. Like, see, I'm not going to go in right and do that finger differently. I'm just going to trim this right here a little bit. And wherever I didn't get, you know, what I needed to. And I don't worry about it too much, because after that, what I do is I just take my vintage photo and I just go around the edges, and it gets rid of all the white very easily. And even under here, you just kind of bend it and get under there. Move your arm back, I can get that. And that just makes the white go away, and it doesn't matter that you didn't get every little portion of it. And we get done with this, you will not notice. So I think there's a little white there. I could have cut that a little better, but you know what? That's okay. Anyway, so you're going to fussy cut your images out, okay? And then I have a bunch of them over here that I've cut out that we're going to do. And so what we'll do then is we can go ahead and take our dauber. You need some sort of embossing ink to do this. And this frosted crystal is it's a Tim Holtz Distress. It's a glaze, but it's not. It is an embossing powder, but it's just it's a little different. It's hard to explain it. It gives it a very kind of a vintage look, but yet it doesn't age it. So, and that's what I'm going for here, because, and it actually brightens the colors. So that's kind of what I'm going for on this. I want something that is going to be, that's going to make them, I mean, oh, and I printed these on cardstock, but it's not super heavy cardstock. I mean, it doesn't need to be, because we're actually going to reinforce this quite a bit. So anyway, we're going to just take our dauber and go over this. And I just kind of do an assembly line. These look great in the little golden books, because it's that same era. Most of those books were written during the time these little suits have on them. I love doing old and shabby, but sometimes I just love getting the retro look. And apparently I went to a couple craft shows the last few weekends, and retro is really big, so retro Santa was everywhere. So anyway, this is a fun thing to do to add to your journals. And you don't have to emboss these. I'm just doing it because I like how it looks. It makes them a little bit stronger, and it just adds a little extra touch to it. This one's got her doll. She doesn't have the red and green, but she's cute. They're all adorable. They really are. I mean, I just can't believe all these images that she had. They're super cute. Now you can see right here, I didn't cut out in between their legs a whole bunch, because for what we're going to do, you don't need to, but you certainly could do that. And I know it's hard to see that I'm getting this on there, but because it's clear, but I am, I think. The other thing I wanted to mention, the Tim Holtz paper dolls, you could certainly do this with that. And I'm going to do one of those just so that you can see. It's got that little cutout piece. This is just a Tim Holtz paper doll. And if you have any of those, if you're like me, I have a ton. A ton. And I like what it does for that. You know how the Tim Holtz paper doll is kind of shiny? It kind of takes the shine away. I mean, it still has a shine, but it's kind of a vintage, almost like a vintage glass look when you get done. Okay, I'm going to put these aside for a minute and get my paper out. And now what I do is I just have parchment paper here. You can use any kind. It doesn't matter. And I just take my little people, because I do it all at the same time. Put them all down here. Just kind of get it to where I can get them all in there. And get this little guy. Just put him in the middle. And all I do is I take my frosted crystal and shake it all on here. A generous dose because it's all going to go back in the jar. All right, I think that should probably do it. Looks like they're pretty covered to me. And then I will just take my tweezers, usually, so I don't mess it up too much. And I just put them back on my little, oops, I keep dropping this one, on my little thing. Oh, I didn't get all the stuff off of that. Let me do it again. Okay, these are not my preferred tweezers. I gotta get my other ones out. So I am gonna go through and just pick them all up if I can find them and put them in there. And if I see any little spots, I'll just dip it in again. I'm getting two. Okay, come on. I may just pick that up with my hand. He keeps slipping over. All right. Oop. I'll kind of scoot some of that over. Well, it looks like we got a big spot in the middle we missed there, so I'm going to get my little dauber out. Okay, oh, move that over. You could go ahead and heat this up and come back, but I usually just do this and then it fixes it. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so then let me put this back in. And I always spill a little every time, but that is what I bought, this little desk vacuum that I absolutely love. It's another thing for your Christmas list. I'll show it to you if I can find it. Oh, I don't know. It's not readily available. I've got so much stuff stacked up. I'm trying to finish all these journals so I can get done with them. All right. So now what I do is I just take my little people, move them over, and I just kind of hold them down one at a time and get my heat gun out, and I will just heat emboss them. So let's do that. All right, now I don't know. I'm going to hold these up so you guys can maybe see them. Oh, that one got on top of that, but that's okay because we're going to do it again. Let me do it on the side that doesn't have the lines so maybe you can see better. They dry really quickly, so, you know, I just want you to see the kind of finish that it has on it. It's really cool. Even the Tim Holtz one, I'm probably going to do that to all my Tim Holtz people because it gives it a very vintage kind of look. All right, so that is kind of the look that it gives it. All right, it's really cool. It adds, I don't know how to explain it. Just a nice layer to it. And I think structurally too, it makes it more pliable. So it's not going to, it has a coating on it basically. And that's why I like to use this. I used it on my cover of my paper bag journal with my Santa. And I love the way it looks and how it also, it's protecting your, surface too. Okay, I am going to do this twice just because I like the look that it gives. It's totally clear, but it gives it a very, I don't know how to explain it, just a really almost like a glass finish to it, but not super shiny like, the clear. I mean, you could do it with clear embossing, but it doesn't have the same texture to it. It's completely different texture. Kind of hard to explain it. You just have to kind of see it maybe. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take my dauber and I'm going to go over everything I already did. Okay, again, over the whole thing. Okay, and it's going to be the same process. We're just going to take this and cover it and then heat emboss it. And then we're going to get on to the next part, which is the fun part, which is finishing it. And it really doesn't, I mean, you can cut these out really quickly and make a bunch of these and have them ready to go. And if you do the little Golden Book journals, because most of those were written in the 1950s and 60s, the illustrations, I think it goes really well with these. Okay, so now I'm going to just cover it up again. Try and get this more toward the middle. There we go. And we're just going to do that again. And that's just going to make it a little bit stronger. And I honestly don't know that it changes the look of it very much, but it does make it stronger for what we're going to do. Now, the Tim Holtz guy, I probably could have skipped that because he is like a heavy cardstock. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and put him back on my little thing here. Get all these up. There we go. I don't want to put my big fingers all over them and take all the stuff off. But I do want to get it up, so this way I can get it on the side so I'm not getting it all over the place. Oops. Here we go. It just doesn't take very long at all to do these, and I think they're really cute. Really, really cute. And there's so many things you could do this in. A lot of your, even your Victorian stuff. And I'm going to do that in some ones that I'm doing. A little bit differently though. All right. So that's the last of that we're going to need. Put that down there. And I like to just use this mat just because this is from the Dollar Tree, because I like to kind of hold it up sometimes to heat it. This should probably stay down without me holding it down because it's already got one coat on there. We shall see. Let me put the cover on. One time I didn't put the cover on, and oh my gosh, what a disaster. All right. All right, so now they're all done and they dry almost instantly. So, and if they bend a little, don't worry about it because for what we're going to do next, it's going to be fine. I just take them and while they're still a little warm, kind of bend them back, or you can take your heat gun and go across the back and it'll heat it up a little bit in the back and you can bend them, but it will work. But they are really super cute. Oh, that got into the other one. Oh, good. It didn't mess it up. That's good. And I just do that and kind of get them reasonably flat. All right. So cute. Anyway, you can really probably see it now. And it is different than clear embossing. It doesn't, this has kind of like a speckled glass look, but it's not frosted. It's kind of a, I don't know how it keeps its, you know, like its little crystals in it. I don't know how it does that. It doesn't all melt somehow. But anyway, let's see if it'll focus. All right. So that's kind of how it looks now. So now all we're going to do is we are going to take some paper clips, and I use big paper clips for this. And these are the, I think they're the 3-inch? I don't know. 2-inch paper clips. So, they're not the small ones, like these are the smaller. You could use that, but I like to use the bigger ones because then they attach a little bit better, you know, to different, you know, because I don't always know where I'm going to use them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? That's what I need. I'm using gold ones. No reason you can't use the silver ones. You can use the coated ones. It won't make any difference. And you need a glue gun and you need some scrap paper, okay? We could use the paper that we cut out these dolls from. We have scrap paper here. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, what we're going to do is we need strips of paper that are going to cover the back of this and then a little bit on the side. So we want to go probably about half of this. So I'm going to go... Well, I need to clean these scissors. They're bad. Probably about right here. We want to be able to, we want it a little bit wider than the paper clip, okay? And then I do them just right at the edge. That's all I need. That's all you really need is that much, okay? So what you do is you just have your scrap paper on there. Move that over. Okay, so here's your scrap piece of paper. And here is the smaller part of the paper clip and then the larger part. I always attach this to the smaller part. And so this is the part that's going to show. This is the part that's going to clip. And then the smaller part's what we're going to put glue on. So it's really simple at this point. All you do is you take your glue, your hot glue, and you make sure you go all the way along the paper clip because you want to be able to hold the paper clip in. And make sure you can close the bottom. All right, and that's enough. That you don't have to overdo it. And then you just get you one of your people and you put that on the back somewhere so it doesn't, in the middle or whatever. And this is why you have to have your paper clip, your piece of paper a little bit wider, is because you're basically sandwiching in that back of the paper clip, okay? And that's it, because then, let me show you, let me get a piece of paper so you can see it. You go like this, see? This just clips right on to whatever you want right there. And that is the cutest little paper clip. That's it. That's all you do to it. So, this one's kind of thin, so we have to watch on our paper. If you make it too wide, not a big deal. You can always trim it, but you have to have it wide enough to kind of go around the paper clip. So I'm going to just cut this. I always cut it right at the edge. It doesn't need to be longer than that. Right? And you can just mass produce these of all different kinds. I'm doing some that are angels that I'm going to put on pages. I think will be really pretty. Okay, so now on this one, this kind of shows a little bit on the edge. That's okay. Just go in there and trim that. No big deal. It does not have to be a perfect, cut in the back. This is just utilitarian, okay? So that works like that. You just have to have enough for the paper clip to go down. Right? So now you cannot see it, and it's fine, right? And I'm going to just do these, and then we'll be done. And then I am finishing up some journals. Hopefully I will get them all done by Sunday. And then I'm still going to be doing Christmas stuff on my channel because I just feel like it's Christmas time, so I'm going to keep doing Christmas stuff. But as far as listing any of them on my Etsy, I don't know that I'll do that after this weekend because I don't want to have to worry about the mail getting there. Because I know right now if I mail anything in the United States, it will easily get there. But, and then it's going to get dicier and dicier as we get closer. So I don't want to have to worry about that. I send everything, priority mail, but, you just never know. I did have one lady purchase a journal from Canada, and from what I can tell, and it's been a while, it still hasn't got there, and I'm like, I hope it does, because it's tough overseas mailing stuff. It's kind of crazy. For the most part, I quit doing it, because it was so time consuming trying to track where stuff was, and because it was unbelievable how long it was taking. I'm talking 4 or 5 months sometimes. I thought for sure a couple things were just lost, which made me sick to my stomach, but they weren't. So she's going to be easy because she's a little chubby, but it just depends. No, actually no, because on the end, see where you have to put this. So I can make that a little bit triangle at the end like that, or angled at the end so it won't go through, and do that on top if you have to, see? But you want to have a good surface here for the glue as much as you can. Like, see, that'll fit in there good now. But anyway, yeah, I really don't like sending stuff overseas if it's like for a holiday or a present, because there's just no way of knowing if it's going to get there within a reasonable time, you know. And it's starting to get super expensive. I cannot believe how expensive it's gotten. All right, let's see. So we have this one. I need more scrap paper. I think this will work. I'm just using the scrap paper from the kit that I had, that I was using, so I don't want to have to, you know, it works fine. Yeah, that one will go easy. And I mean, you could put this on the larger part if you don't want that on, you know, of your paper clip. I don't think it would really matter. I just like to have the larger part to put down on stuff. So that's why I do it. And you're just going to lightly press. You know, if you get a little glue, just rub it off. I mean, I don't think people are going to be looking at the back of your paper clip, but now you could do this as a hidden paper clip and actually put 2 in there. I mean, that you could do that. That'd be really cute, but we're just doing it like this. And this is the Tim Holtz one, and I mean, it's the same principle with him. So, and see, it just gives it an interesting look to it. I don't know. It's not as shiny as it normally would be. So, I wonder if this is wide enough for that. Let's see. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So, I just thought I'd throw him in here in case y'all have. I have a ton I need to do something with. It is crazy how many Tim Holtz things I have. Partly is because in order to get some of his stuff, I had to buy like a package, and they always somehow had Tim Holtz, you know, paper dolls as part of the package. I wonder if I can cut that, if that'll be low enough. I think it will. So this one we're going to have to trim a little bit, like see right here and up there. But we'll be able to. So then I just go in and I cut off those extra pieces so you can't see them. There we go. Now see, the paper clip's back there, but when you put this on a piece of paper, you're not gonna see it. See, you can't see the paper clip. I just wanted to do something quick and easy just so that I could say hi. And I think I'm just probably gonna have a flip through tomorrow, and then I'll have some more process videos next week. But I might have one on Sunday if I have time, but we shall see. I don't know yet. Okay. All right. Why is he giving me a hard time? Oh, because I don't have the bottom glued down good. I need to do that. Okay. And they just clip right on. You know. That way we can just have our little group here. They can all fit across so you can see them. And then, isn't that cute? Those are adorable. Look how quick we made those. I mean, really. We made these super, super quick. So here's some other ones I did. I'll show you those. I'm just going to lay these right here. There's a few others that I did. All right. So you can kind of see our little group of kids here. Aren't they adorable? I'll move down so you can see them all. Let's see if I can come down a little bit. So that's it, guys. Those are our little altered paper clips. And I will probably be back tomorrow with a flip through. And then either I might post a video on Saturday or Sunday because I have some ideas, but it just depends if I have time to get to it. So you take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.